In the future, here I go again on my own.
Welcome back, Space Cadets, to Hal and Dave's Trip to Jupiter.
We're doing this again. I think we're... we're now invested.
None of tonight was planned. It just happened.
It's like, it's like when you start dating a girl. Sometimes things just happen.
That is true. That is... oh yeah, it's upside down now. That is how I met a girl that I dated for 3 years of my life.
That's fair. Apparently we're in the inverted castle from Castlevania Symphony Night.
Because it was like one of those things where we kind of like met online, and then we were gonna go and like see each other at the local mall. But I wasn't like, she was really like reserved. I mean, she was always really reserved, especially online. And so I was like, I'll go meet this girl and see if she's nice, and then I'm gonna go back and play Xenoblade Chronicles. And I had no idea that would be like this fateful day that would change my life forever. So, yeah, sometimes the best things in life are totally unplanned.
Oh, yeah. Knuckles is just going to have
not
to be...
pregnancy.
I wasn't going to go there, but you did.
We'll tell our high-paid editor to edit it out.
We don't have a high-paid... Wait a minute.
Yeah. That is to say, I'll tell myself to edit it out, but then I won't actually do that.
You won't, because...
partly out of laziness and partly because I don't think it was that bad.
Fair enough.
That and, like, honestly, we are so small and so under the radar that we could get away with so much. And nobody would... like, we would probably get away with a ton of things that big YouTubers couldn't. And then eventually, like, someone would notice... Oh god, it's invisible. Eventually someone would notice or report us, or like maybe we'd get popular enough that we would get into trouble. But until then...
Until then, we'll just be dorks and we'll just acknowledge.
That's what happens when you try to light dash and you're, like, facing the rings at the wrong angle. Got it. But yeah. No, I mean, honestly...
Tails, you fly all the time. You're used to falling.
Yeah, seriously, why is he afraid? Sonic's the only one. Yeah, Knuckles can fly too. Glide. So Sonic's the only one who's like stuck in free fall. He should be the one panicking, and he's just like, man, it's all cool. Gotta go fast. Down to the bottom.
Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast to my death.
Gravity only enhances my speed.
Sonic only cares about one thing, speed and more speed. He's an 80s cocaine fiend.
Oh my god. It's actually funny now that I think about it that, like, Sonic was the least, like, weird and obnoxious and edgy in the movie. But I felt like the live-action movie was going to be where he would be the worst.
Honestly, they got Sonic kind of right in the film. They balanced him out pretty well.
I would say, like, he's cuter than he has ever been. Just the way he just wants to have friends.
I just want to have friends and be
cool.
That's
cute.
And, well, that's actually one of the reasons I like that movie.
Yeah,
I now... Okay, spoilers for the movie. Skip, like, a couple minutes ahead.
I was gonna say.
I want to
see what... it or they haven't.
I want to see what they did. I want to see the original design for Tails.
Oh, yeah. from before the art shift.
I want to see, like, if they actually had a plain design or something. I want to see it.
What kills me is when they release, like, the horrible design Sonic, is apparently they had objections from the animators who were working on it. And, like, because, like, that design was basically okayed by some, like, bigwig.
And then, like, the bigwig, and then everybody shat on it. I like that one dude. I liked how, like, it's one of the weirdest things about that whole controversy is that basically everyone kind of agreed that, like, Sonic's design sucked.
Yeah.
And it's like the only one who didn't was that bigwig who saw it initially.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you see that a lot in, like, video game design in particular, where, like, especially from, like, a huge company, where you'll have, some executive being like, this is what's trendy, shoehorn it into the game.
Well,
and the game designers being like, but that doesn't make sense to put multiplayer into our single-player adventure.
Well,
or something like that.
I actually talked about this, was usually I bring up the Power Rangers movie as an example of this kind of doing very badly.
Yeah?
Well, okay, I think the Power Rangers movie designs...
What do we do with this?
Are both overtly detailed and not detailed enough.
Yeah, that is exactly right, actually.
Okay, first of all, there's a little bunch of gribbles on them that doesn't really make sense design-wise.
Is that pronounced gribbles? I've been pronouncing them greeblies.
Greeblies, whatever. However,
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
I'm just going to call them gribbles.
Anyway, Dale gribbles.
Anyway, they have gribbles on them that basically make them look,
Yeah, like toast.
Like they're meant to look realistic, but then the actual designs themselves are smoothed over and simplified like fuck.
Well, you know what it is?
What?
They don't have enough color variation to break up the form, so
Yeah.
when looked at from a distance, they just look like this, monochrome human shape.
Or blobs, yeah, no,
No, they do have a human shape. We'll give them that much.
Yeah.
Tails, where'd you go?
Leave it to me.
There we go. Make yourself useful, Tails.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the inverse Transformers movie, as I would say, where Transformers, you spend the whole movie being like, get Shia LaBeouf off the screen so I can see the Transformers transform.
Well,
and Power Rangers, I expected to be the same thing, but it turned out to be the opposite. Where I liked the character development for the teenagers, and then they were like totally lacking in all the fun and charm of Super Sentai once they got into costume.
well, one of the big problems was for one thing, if you're gonna have a combining mecha, and even Michael Bay did this well, and this is okay, look, if you have a combining mecha, show how you combine it. That's an important part.
The Megazord combination makes so little sense that they had to throw it into a volcano and have it pop out fully complete.
Yes.
So you throw it into a mixer.
If you actually look at how the toy...
Put your Megazord in the oven at 400 degrees for 25 minutes.
If you actually look at how the toys have to combine to accommodate that design, it's insane.
Oh, yeah.
And I understand they're oh, it's organic, so it's but it's get it into an actual cool physical, look, the cool thing is, it's just, even if it was just oh, it's an organic mixture, show it then! Show us your cool, innovative design.
What was that movie? It was a combination of it was The Breakfast Club meets Transformers, but no part of the movie felt like they were, the whole movie felt like they were kind of ashamed of their Super Sentai origins.
I think it's just that they wanted because it's this. I think to them on some level it's we're better than this, so we have to show how we can be better, and they forgot to the essentials. Here's one thing that Super Sentai does. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Kanye West has made a good a song as friggin' Go Go Power Rangers.
Okay, Go Go Power Rangers is definitely amazing. All right, what did we change? Did we? And
then
let's not screw up the light dash again.
But they only have it for 1 second, and then they use a bunch of standard soundtrack songs "Hey, Aw."
Oh, in the 2017 movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that felt so shoehorned in. Whoever was putting it in there was okay, fine, I'll put it in, but only for 2 seconds. So you get the Go Go Power Rangers riff and nothing else.
Yeah, basically, and it's really, you should have just let it play the entire movie, and everybody would have been hyped as fuck.
That's true.
I'm sorry. One thing American movies can sometimes be bad at is making hype as fuck moments.
Yeah, because anime loves to do that sort of thing all the time.
Where you have the theme songs play, where it's
what's the other one for? Oh,
you're now in the inverted world. Yay!
I mean, I don't know. It feels like real life is the inverted world at the moment.
Anyway, but no, but no, what I am saying is that
Yeah,
weird.
The original, overall, in trying to be Power Rangers, the original movie from '96 or whatever was the better
it's
one.
cheesy, but I do enjoy it. At the very least, it does a couple, okay, the Megazord is ugly as sin.
Hey, I loved it. I wanted the toy of that Megazord that transformed just like it as a kid, but all we ever got was the TV version. which nowadays I think is ultimately a better look.
Just a better, it's a cooler design, honestly. I wish it actually looked closer to the, either that or just bring the suit from the TV show.
Well, weren't they originally going to do it with like the suit stuff, but then they got approved for a bigger budget, and then they're like, man, let's change everything.
I'm not. Well, to be fair, it was early CGI, and I don't think they realized how badly it would age.
Jumping physics are screwed up on this wall, by the way.
I can tell. But anyway, yeah.
I mean, they didn't have to worry about that movie aging. They just needed to get kids' butts into seats for 90 minutes and make a profit.
True. And, you know, hey, I will say it also does have a better soundtrack. Oh, you got a better
That was
score?
a new time, but not a good score.
Aw.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you're doing it.
We're doing the thing.
You are doing the thing.
But by the way, like to anyone who hasn't actually played this game, so all the teams will go through the same set of levels, but they may have different like gimmicks or objectives. Like basically, Sonic is normal mode. Team Dark with Shadow and Rouge and Omega is just hard mode. So like they rearrange the placement of enemies, stronger enemies. Rails are in different spots. Yeah, that makes that Rail Canyon level real interesting. So they're hard mode. And like Team Rose is just easy mode, where like you always get power-ups and the hard enemies don't usually show up. And then like the Chaotix is just like, oh, we gotta do weird stuff.
We're the experimental one.
Yeah, well they, like the first level has you searching for hermit crabs, and you have to just, and it's like, it's kind of interesting because it's more chill at times, but it also like is really bad. Because the way the camera works, it's really hard to see stuff that is off the path. And so you half the time you miss the stuff you're looking for.
Leave it to me.
But you have to do all 4 of those, so you have to play every level at least 4 times in order to unlock the final story where you get to go fight the big bad and have your butt rock, Sonic butt rock.
That's annoying on some level.
Yeah, well, they've been doing it. That started with Sonic. Oh, we're totally nuking these guys. That started with Sonic Adventure. Well, actually, I guess it started before that. Technically, if you want to look at Sonic 3 and Knuckles to be like you only got the Doomsday Zone if you got all the Chaos Emeralds and could do Super Sonic, or no, you had to get. There's 7 Chaos Emeralds and then 7 more of like the Super Emeralds. So you're actually getting 14 Emeralds.
And
then you get Hypersonic, which is like Super Sonic, only rainbow strobe lights. Oh no, not this. But you could do the Doomsday Zone, which is this really awesome like final cinematic level.
Jump.
But like, you know, that was why Sonic was cool back then. Is there was just like everything was such had such like a strong anime energy and usually fantastic music. And but then, you know, where was I going? Oh yeah, Sonic Adventure started that thing where you have to do all the stuff before they let you get like the real final level and play Super Sonic for one level. You know, because there you had to do all the characters' stories, because the stories like converged on the Battle with Chaos.
There's that switch again.
Huh.
Leave it to me.
But you know, that's what sucked too. Is like you could do all of Sonic's story and then maybe I need to reverse it. Oh, the skeleton changes based on where he's holding his plates differently. It's like, okay, I get that we're having like the bare bones of food thanks to you, but seriously, Mr. Skelly Man, I like some meat.
Leave it to me.
Skelly Man does not care for you. He'll serve you however he wants.
Okay. Oh.
Rail.
It's like spiderweb rails-ish. AKA, they forgot to put a texture on it. It's actually funny when you like see like a finished, supposedly polished game and you find something that's like not properly UV'd and textured.
Very much so.
I mean, I kind of feel that way about the textures on the Sonic characters in this game. What, did we miss something? Oh, there's another wall to break.
There.
They come from the Zelda school of breakable walls, where they have like big cracks on them.
Well, that's how. Well, you know, that's how you're gonna tell they're breakable.
For a brief moment, I had a flash, thinking like, "Oh, I died."
You died again.
You just had that Dark Souls like you died popped up.
You died. You died. Ha ha.
That's right. I was gonna say we played a little bit of Bloodborne, but we haven't done any like actual Dark Souls yet.
We probably should at some point.
That'd be an interesting one. That'd be one like that'd be like the night where we just like sit there in silent concentration, not allowing ourselves.
We just don't want to fuck this up, man.
Yeah.
Our gamer pride would kill us.
Yeah. I don't. Okay, those games are my definition of hard but fair. For the most part, there's some weirdness.
Well,
sometimes, but-
they're pattern memorization at the end of the day, and if you
yeah.
get
Ah, it's a rail.
everything's a rail.
Everything's a rail.
And
Oh, do we have to go back here now? Oh, wait. Is this? Yeah. Oh, yeah, because, you know, there's... Especially when you're, like, growing up, when you're, like, a little kid, you know, sometimes you're just like, you know, the game needs to be, like, really hard.
Yeah.
You know, the harder the game, the better it is, or something, I don't know. At least that's how it was for me. But,
Were you just a masochist as a kid?
well, you know, I was a kid who was actually able to, like, finish games like Mega Man and stuff,
Not fair.
which were considered pretty hard.
I beat Mega Man 2. I used the metal blade like a
Okay, I
chump.
actually really like that skeleton pointing at where you go.
That's actually a nice.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. But, yeah, so... But now, some people will still kind of act like that, and there's like this... God, you can't even see when the lasers are coming. Yay.
You did it.
But, so the question I like to ask myself is it hard because it's well-designed, or is it hard because it's badly designed?
It's one of those things of... Sometimes that can be such a weird thing to think about, totally.
And I think Dark Souls is the good design. That I think, for the most part, a lot of deaths can be considered one's own fault.
Unlike this game where it's like...
Nah, this game's kind of 50-50 split on that one. Ah! Damn it.
At least Tails took the hit.
Well, no, I think we lost our shield. Did we have a shield?
No.
Okay, then we just somehow didn't lose rings on that one.
Yeah, that's because one of your other dudes took the hit.
Oh god. But it wasn't Tails, because Tails is the leader. Okay, good. Camera, stop staring up. Okay, what do we do? We did a thing. This is... Okay. It's specifically 3D Sonic games that love doing that angle we just saw. A lot of the times it's done during boss fights in, like, Sonic Adventure, and I hate it. You don't angle the camera away from the ground and give the player no control over it in a 3D platformer.
Floating.
Oh god, it's that dude. Hey, buddy.
Well, you have a team
Can
blast.
I ignore him? Can I go here? No, it's... Oh, wait. It is...
Let Sonic take care of this.
Wait, do I have to do all of them and then...
Oh god, this one.
Oh. Yeah, speaking of which, we're 7.5 minutes through this level. This is the level I really think of when I'm like, I don't like how long the levels are on a game that grades you.
Yeah.
Because if you screw up now, you gotta redo the last 8 minutes of the game.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I guess I did have to go defeat that guy. Yeah, I'll team blast him. Yeah, because I was going for all this stuff. I remember totally, you know, lying to my mom and not necessarily working on too much math homework in high school when I was trying to do this.
You're just like, fuck math. What did math ever do for me?
It delayed my graduation by a year or two.
That happens.
Yeah, okay, so they deactivate the ones that you've completed, it looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the like math requirement for my major was really stupid because like to do what I to be an animation major, computer animation major, you don't really need to know math. But for some reason they had this whole like calculus requirement that literally like delayed the graduation of pretty much every student in the major.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, it was terrible.
I hate when schools do that. I understand to an extent. You know, variety, blah blah blah.
Well, I just remember I was like I had like a whole like I was in like a oh my god, see that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
See, no A rank for you. Whoa. Where are we? We got sent back pretty far, it feels like. Anyways. Yeah, let's tell a story.
Yeah.
Let's tell a story about calculus class. So, like, it was like the second time I had tried to take that class, and I was at the final. And, like, I had been trying pretty hard, but I wasn't sure if I was going to pass the class or not. And I was already, like, kind of on a short fuse that day, because... Okay, that's how you do it. Because I had already, like, been up since, like, 7 a.m. and the exam was at, like, you know, 7 p.m. And I had done, like, presentations and stuff earlier in the day, and I was just, like... So, I get to, like, the last page of the exam, and I just look at the equation and what it's asking, and I'm like, I have no idea what this is talking about. And it's, like, this big blank page where you're supposed to do your calculations on. So, what I did instead was I drew, like, this anime character with, like, his scarf blowing in the wind, looking all, like, angry and heroic and stuff. And I wrote something there to the teacher just being like, my future employers will not care if I know how to do math. They will only care if I know how to draw. Or something like that. It was, like, it was actually much harsher than...
Oh, wow.
And I think I, like, you know, like, wrote in, like, big words, like, they will never care. And I'm just like, I'm done. And I just, like, walked out of there after turning in the test and just being like, you know, fail me. Fail me with that. That's right. I think I actually ended it by being like, I look forward to seeing you in summer school. And, but then I passed the class with a D.
Well,
Still passing.
hey, fair enough.
And, all, you know, my diploma does not say what grade I got on calculus class. It just says
You
I have
passed.
a diploma. The most expensive sheet of paper you'll ever get in life.
It's true.
Let's go.
Right now, well, you know.
And yeah, so that's my college experience.
Well, you know, that's what you have to do sometimes.
I was literally a straight A student in my major. It was just these other requirements.
Let's go.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ah. Not going to throw ourselves off the edge, Knuckles. I don't trust him. I'm gonna be Tails. Tails has like the least slippery controls.
Well, that's
It's not saying much, but it's...
but it helps.
Yeah. Now we gotta do this.
I actually died so often on this when I was younger. I remember this.
You know, I've been playing video games all my life, and I've never had any problems with like epilepsy or anything. But man, these high saturated backgrounds kind of make me feel like I could.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God it's over.
You did it.
Oh, we did it. Man, I still can't get over like how shiny their textures are. It just doesn't look right.
It's one of those designs I feel like it was considered great at the time, but looking back, it's like
It wasn't. Like you talk to, you look up if you can. I don't even know where 1.5, but like if you looked up any Sonic fan's opinion online from back then, they'll be like, "How come Sonic's model was so much better in Sonic Adventure 2?"
I actually mean like from the developer's perspective, not like from the fans.
The developer's perspective was like, "How much can we get done in the next 5 minutes?"
What a joke! What did you say? Now I'm really mad.
But yeah, like the characters had, I feel like they had more polygons in Sonic Adventure 2,
Robot Storm.
and they kind of just. I don't know if it's like they thought the levels were too big in this game and they needed to reduce the polygon count where they could, but
Well, maybe it's also like I said, maybe it was also the hardware on the different consoles.
that doesn't make too much sense considering we're talking Sonic Adventure 2, a Dreamcast game, versus, every other console of that
Look,
generation.
Sega never made the most optimal games. Let's be honest.
Well, I don't know. They did when Yuji Naka was
Yeah.
around.
It
When did Yuji Naka actually like stop working on Sonic?
Like a
Where
couple
did
years
they-
ago,
where did my friends
actually.
No,
Like-
he was gone. I think he officially left Sega with Sonic 06. But I don't know how much he did, because he was the man responsible for the original Sonic games, because he was the programmer who knew how to program momentum on a slope,
Yeah. Okay.
and that's why Sonic was capable of being what he was. And so, yeah, it's not always the artists. Sometimes it's those programmers that are what really define that game. In fact, a lot of times it is. Oh, okay. What do we? Oh, they're coming from this guy.
Fly the sky.
But,
Which reminds me, I gotta work on my Gundam, my God Gundam model kit later.
I just have that one that I did that I will always be happy with.
Yeah, no, I actually bought the same one, so I'm gonna.
It's such a good kit.
It is a good kit.
Yeah,
And
almost killed myself.
I also got a new version of the Master Gundam.
Oh, hey, look, an opportunity to kill ourselves with the cannon.
Oh no!
Yeah. What else is there? Get back in the cannon, Tails. I want to have another shot. What? Am I supposed to go over there? Oh, I'm totally gonna... Wait, can I... Whoa, whoa! You can spit yourself out by pressing B!
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, alright. Where's Sonic? Sonic! Alright, I learned a thing. I learned that the B button actually cancels you out of the cannon.
We learned a new mechanic that the Game Grumps didn't know about.
We learned a new mechanic that literally no one knew about. It's like the untold secrets of Sonic Heroes.
The Untold Secrets of Sonic Heroes.
Yeah, like this is one of those weird games where I think critics kind of like this game more than the other like adventure games, but the fans were like, "Give me back adventure."
Well, to be fair, Adventure Dub, even back then, had a lot of like nostalgia to it.
Oh yeah, well because Sonic in their minds could do no wrong, because the last major Sonic title before Adventure was Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
True.
Well, yeah, Sonic and Knuckles. I always combine those games. I will never not combine them now. That's what they're meant to be. It's the complete version of Sonic 3.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so, yeah, when you go from like that kind of a high point, of course everybody's going to be like, man, the next Sonic game is going to be insanely good. And I'm sure like with the success of Mario 64...
Oh, you do have
Okay,
Team
stop
Blast.
it. I was going to try to like bounce my way up there, which is fun, but we'll do this instead.
You'll do this like a bitch. Don't worry, I understand.
And they all come tumbling down.
Tumbling down, tumbling down.
You like, I guess you have like powered shots or something with Knuckles and Tails when you do the Team Blast thing. Wait, can he not hurt them? No, he can like hurt them when the game decides he can.
Yes.
What's the matter? Got nothing left? Just warming up. This is only the beginning.
This is only the beginning.
Oh, the egg pawns. Whoa, there's a lot of them.
They know their job.
They know to be mobs. Whoa, he like flipped up in the air. Alright. But yeah, a lot of people were like, hey, the Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 had like really good controls and handling, and somehow the Sonic 3D games never had that afterwards. It's kind of true. Like, something happened when they switched over to this game in particular, when things got a lot more slippery.
Well, like I said, this is one of the reasons why I want to look up the Billy Hatcher development to see if Yuji Naka.
That's true.
Because that was a game he was focusing on.
Yeah, speaking of our complaints about the boss fights of this game, it's like that was just another asset flip. It's just, oh, all the random enemies, let's just put a lot of them on screen and call it a boss.
Yeah. To be fair, a lot of other games have done that, and some have done it to okay success. It reminds me of some of the challenges in the Spider-Man PS4 game, where it's just you have to fight a lot of enemies who are just tough.
If they're like optional stuff.
So
All right, this episode's about like a half hour long. What do you think?
Well,
Do we split this into another episode? Because that level was longer.
well, fuck it. Let's do it.
All right, Supersode.
We'll do this like men.
This is just going to make it so we have, like, fewer uploads, but, you know, the same... Overall, it's the same amount of time. And, you know, we don't do enough that I bother to look at our analytics.
It's fair.
Well, because, like, we had that, like, really long, like, practically a year where we didn't do anything. And then, like, so then you just look at the analytics, and it's like, your viewership is up 500%. It's like, yeah, because we haven't uploaded in a year.
Yeah, it's true. Like,
Still feels good, though.
honestly. If you want to feel good about your analytics,
Yeah,
just
really.
upload it between...
And then force all of your friends to watch.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, not gonna name any names, but I know he's not watching. But we totally had a friend who was like wanted to be on the show with us, but refused to ever watch it. Just like, F off, dude.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I respect him slightly sometimes.
Nah, I mean, yeah.
Joking aside. Anyway,
But really, like, it is kind of interesting when you start to get involved in something that your friends think is cool, because then they kind of want in on it sometimes.
honestly, I hope that if we ever do become big, like we don't meet, like we meet big YouTubers then when we're at the same sub count levels. For one reason,
I don't
because
know. Well, I passed right through that thing.
you died.
Yay!
No, it was brought up to me like that way you have that weird imposter syndrome when you're like hanging out with people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Nope. I'm like,
Hey, let's fly off the beaten path here. Let's see where this goes.
to hell.
Nope. Actually, it's a path.
Yep.
Yeah, I get that. I feel like, yeah, considering this whole thing started just by trying to call out Game Grumps just for the fun of it. You know?
Yeah.
That's, again, like, they were one of our inspirations. They were the first Let's Play I ever saw, and I found them when I was. Remember, I was on the can, and I had a tablet with me, and I was bored, and I was looking up like Transformers stuff or something, and somehow I found their Gundam Battle Assault 2 video.
Oh god, that's one of my personal favorites.
And yeah, it's like, oh hey, Big Zam. Yeah, and I'm like, what is this show? These people just talk while recording themselves playing a game? Not particularly well.
Yes.
And then I started watching, and I kept watching.
So-
and before I knew it, I loved it. I was just like, wow, you know, this is really fun.
So I actually got into Let's Plays with my friend. I had an old friend from college, and I won't say his name out
Yeah.
loud, but you know, he was into the Something Awful forums. And here's the thing: Let's Plays originated from the Something Awful
Oh,
forums.
this is bad. You can't switch while you're doing this, but you need to switch while you're doing this. Wait, can I fall off safely here? Ah, and I immediately switched to Knuckles. I felt like the collider might like throw me off. All right, so then where do we go? We just
Where do we
ease.
go from here?
Okay, because
Wow.
we apparently no. Why?
Okay, maybe you need to.
I'm going for the cannon. Let's go for the cannon.
Let's go for the
Let's
cannon.
go for the cannon.
Maybe the cannon is the
Tails?
canon ending.
Tails? Yeah. Yeah. Everything else was non-canon.
Yes.
But yeah, I started watching. I initially couldn't tell the difference, so to speak, between. Or I didn't understand that there had been two different Not So Grumps.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, he changed, like, his little cartoon character changed his beard or something, and he sounds different. Maybe he, like...
Lost weight.
Yeah, well, like, maybe, like, his voice kind of changed after he did... I don't know. Well, I mean, I only thought that for, like, 2 videos, and I was like, oh, no, wait, these are totally different people.
I knew about Game Grumps way before the whole changeover, so
Yeah.
I saw it happen in real time.
It's like me and Power Rangers. I'm the Season 2 kid.
Dude, I'm technically the Zeo kid in a way, because here's the thing, I was in Kuwait when Power Rangers was at its like super peak.
Oh, no! Well, that could have been better.
That happened.
Look, I can see my house from here.
Don't worry, we have 94 lives.
Yeah, you know, this actually exemplifies what I kind of mentioned, or keep mentioning, is the first couple levels of this game are pretty good, because they're about the right length and level of difficulty, so you feel good, like it's a little bit challenging, and then you can still get a high score, and then these levels are like, you know, have you practiced for 10,000 hours yet? Then you're not worthy of A rank.
You are not God.
Yeah. So you're saying Power Rangers in Kuwait?
Well, when I was in Kuwait, I got limited Power Rangers access. So when I got back, it was around during. But I knew about them, and I had the original Megazord. I just wasn't able to see all the episodes. So when I got back and watched Power Rangers relatively, it was during the Zeo seasons.
I love that this thing is just a texture swap of the flower thing.
But I did grow up with a lot of the original stuff. It's just that I couldn't see all the episodes. So I missed the entire like Shogun and Ninja period, and skipped the Zeo.
Oh, what?
But Power Rangers isn't that heavy on continuity, so you could
mostly
get into it pretty easily.
Yeah, there's just like a few major shifts that you gotta understand, and that's usually just when, like, either when the White Ranger showed up or when they got new Zords. Yeah, but other than that, it's pretty self-contained.
Well, like, I remember when I didn't see them till later when they started to re-air the episodes on Fox Family.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw, and they had like giant marathons of the Mighty Morphin era.
No, wait, were those episodes edited, or what was the re-edited season 1?
Oh,
where they,
okay.
The lamest After Effects
No,
stuff.
this was not before that. Okay,
That was
post
Disney.
RPM.
That was Disney, right?
That was during the Disney era.
Yeah.
So what happened was
Seen a
basically
trend.
this.
Okay, so I guess you can move yourself up and down. That's what they wanted
So
you to do.
the reason, and this is the dumbest thing ever, the reason like the Fox Kids family was purchased was so Disney could get Digimon,
That makes sense.
and they didn't know what to do with everything else. But Power Rangers was too big a hit,
Oh, of course.
but they didn't want it. And nowadays, Disney would probably,
Run it into the ground.
yes, but back then,
Whoa, why did I home in on that? I was just trying to air dash. Anyways,
Anyway,
Disney Rangers.
the Disney Ranger, they didn't want anything to do with it. And at one point, they were even going to try and make it animated. But then but here's the problem. It was always a production with Toei.
Yeah.
So they had
So
to
make
go...
it anime.
And here's the thing. Toei said, we're not going to do anything about the violence. It's Super Sentai. It's traditional. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Because,
Good.
well, here's the thing. Disney can't really mess with Japan. They tried to mess with Miyazaki. He sent them a katana.
But is he just like, hold on to this for me. I will be coming there shortly to kill you with it.
No, okay. So, if you don't know, the original version of Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind, was initially released as Warriors of the Wind and downplayed Nausicaa like crazy because she's a female protagonist.
Right.
Right, okay, fine.
That seems weird for Disney, honestly.
This was before Disney.
Oh, okay.
When Disney got the Miyazaki movies and were helping bring over, he sent them a katana and said, no cuts.
If you cut the movie, I will cut you.
Basically.
With these. Oh yeah, by the way, this is the only time where you need to use the broken spin dash in this game.
Oh, wow.
Like, I don't know even how it works. You hold the B button and sometimes they line up behind you and sometimes you get a burst of speed and sometimes you fling yourself to your death with it.
It's magic.
very, you roll your D20 and you find out, you roll a D20, only half of the numbers are ones.
Knuckles. But yeah, no, that's what happened. And so, because of it, Miyazaki basically said no cuts, and Disney has been trying to mess with it. Like, Disney has also been trying, to be fair, one of the big problems with Disney is that they sometimes don't know when to leave well enough alone.
Yeah.
A good example is that they tried to make a bunch of live-action movies of the Ghibli films. But,
Did they actually make these? Or?
No.
Okay, good.
And now the Ghibli films are on our HBO Max.
Huh.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
They're not on the Disney
They
service.
don't like Disney?
Yeah,
they had it falling out?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, Japan is like the last bastion of, artistic integrity, in a sense, because apparently over here in America, you know, they will completely change a movie for 5 people complaining about it on Twitter.
Sometimes. But no, my issue is basically like, look, Disney just doesn't know sometimes when to leave well enough alone, and sometimes I think it changes things needlessly. Like I like MCU Spider-Man sometimes, but I also feel like he's sometimes so different from Peter Parker that it annoys the fuck out of me. And some people are like, well, that's fine. And I'm like, nah.
So you're saying like Tom Holland MCU feels like he's not Peter Parker? Is that what you're saying?
My issue with Tom Holland is I think he does, but I think everything around him doesn't feel Spider-Man.
All right, now that I get behind.
Because look, you wanna know what? I hate the Alex Jones, J. Jonah Jameson parodies. It was funny once.
Wait, that's right. I didn't actually see the second one. I was like, where was J. Jonah Jameson?
He's post-credit scene in that one.
Wait, who plays him?
J.K. Simmons.
Wow, that hit me right in the face. Just like J.K. Simmons would.
Yeah, no.
So everyone else is a different actor, but he's like. So what you're telling me is J. Jonah Jameson is a multiversal singularity.
Yes. Look, I think this is one of those cases of even Disney was like, at one point I heard that Snoop, I don't know, Dr. Dre was it or something. Like they were trying to figure out what to do with Jameson, and honestly, you can't really change him.
It's a delicate balancing act. It's like you have your house of cards set up, and the slightest change in the wind will destroy it.
Like I know some people are like, look, Jameson isn't that big. No, he's one of the most. I actually think this, but I think he's the most important supporting Spider-Man character ever.
You know what? He is, now that you say it. And some of those things you take for granted until someone points it out and you're like, wow, it's really important.
Well, here's the thing. He represents Peter's struggle.
He does, yeah.
Like, not only does Peter...
Also, he's a corrupt journalist, which is accurate.
Well, sometimes. It depends. Moving that aside on the corruption, like, I have opinions on that.
Yeah.
He controls Peter's money. He controls how people perceive Spider-Man. He's literally the ultimate...
Well, that's what I mean, because, like, his Spider-Man's hit pieces are all, like, clickbait.
Yeah, no, and in general, he's the ultimate Spider-Man supporting character. He's the villain, but Peter Parker has to rely on him for money. He's like people will say, no, Aunt May, no, it's J. Jonah Jameson is the most important Spider-Man supporting character ever.
Well, that's why that scene is so great in, like, Spider-Man 2, like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2, where he's given up, pretty much, and Doc Ock is on a rampage, and Jonah's, like, looking at the costume, he's like, I miss Spider-Man. And then off camera, Spidey takes back his costume, and he turns around, he's like, he's a menace! Yeah.
And I actually think
so
one of the big problems with the Spider-Man PS4 game, and it's a game I love. You know how I basically rave about the game sometimes, except for the stealth segments. Peter Parker doesn't interact with Jameson directly in that game, and I felt that was a missed opportunity.
Apparently mashing the B button is the solution to that problem.
Yes. Well, we did it.
How long was that level?
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, that doesn't actually have a goal ring. We're just, like, clear. I feel like they just put an invisible goal ring collider up there.
Probably. About 9 minutes.
That's how you do it.
Too easy.
Yeah. Well, like, seeing what happened to us in that level, it's just like... I remember getting frustrated trying to get A rank as time went on, so...
You gotta be. And now we're in the final fortress.
Oh, okay, so they have 7 worlds, basically, and then 2 axes, so there's, like, 14 stages.
Yeah.
Alright, that is kind of a cool...
That's a cool...
That is a cool background. That's a pre-rendered background.
I could see that as someone's,
Like, this starts to remind you of, like, the epic Death Egg moments and stuff from the old Sonic games. Yes!
You did it.
Why is the B button everything?
The B button is everything and nothing.
Oh, that's what's so weird about it. Yeah, I think the problem that the MCU encountered was, there had already been Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi Spider-Man, and then... And then they had the Amazing Spider-Man, and so by then, like, all the classical versions of that character, those characters, had kind of been done.
You're not wrong. One of my big problems is that they don't realize how redundant they're probably going to make some characters. A good example is Flash Thompson.
Oh, yeah.
Flash Thompson is like the rich school smart bully, and you want to know who that is in the original Spider-Man comics?
Who?
Harry Osborn.
Oh. Yeah, that's a problem.
So
Harry Osborn, but also these cannons.
Yes.
Jesus.
well, and then in the movie they introduced that he has issues with his parents, which okay, fine, add a little depth to him. But it's also just Harry Osborn again.
Wait, Peter Parker or
Flash.
wait? How do I beat this guy? His helmet's on,
Leave it to me.
and apparently he takes no damage on his legs because of his helmet, for reasons. All right, continue about Spider-Man while I figure this guy out.
That's fine. Oh, hold it.
Oh, that's
There it is. You have to wait for him to spin.
Yeah. Oh, his ass is invulnerable though.
Now he
Team Blast, damn it.
Team blast him, motherfucker.
Yeah, I think I have to hit his head. But yeah, so yeah, they do kind of like make redundancies happen, especially with, what was it? Actually, no, I was thinking of something else. I started thinking about Iron Man Armored Adventures,
Yeah.
where they basically just made Spider-Man but rich.
Yeah. No, I like Iron Adventures is actually a solid show for what it is.
Yeah.
But it's one of those cases of how the fuck did you take like. Here's the thing. I think one of the reasons people are never going to go back to it is the fact they decided not to adapt Tony Stark as he was.
Right, because that was when Iron Man and the MCU was really taking off.
Yeah, and once and I think they didn't and I think they figured that okay, we'll do this Iron Man cartoon, but let's make it sell in case the movie fails. So we'll make him a teenager.
Whoa, where did I go just now? I went off. I was supposed to catch that flagpole, possibly.
Possibly. Anyway. But that's what I imagine, because for people not to know, Armored Adventures made Tony Stark a teenager. And,
Wow, that was too little too late on that thing right there. Anyways.
And if you know about it, it's basically like, yeah. It's an okay show. It actually has some pretty good moments.
Yeah,
I like their version of Black Panther a lot.
Black Panther was in that?
Yeah. A bunch of MCU characters were in that. A bunch of Marvel characters were in that show. And
Was he also a kid?
Yeah, yes. Everybody was basically a teenager in that version. So,
Did he get kicked out of Wakanda until he was old enough to become king?
I have to remember that, because I haven't seen the show in a long while. Oh, okay, you can apparently.
Well, I don't have a Team Blast ready, so meh.
Meh!
This enemy is like the apex of like why Sonic Heroes Combat sucks.
He's the apex predator.
Yeah. Shit,
raw!
Hey.
Yeah!
God, that's right. They were trying to get like the dub actors to do like the Japanese cries, sort of, because Knuckles in English straight up is like ora ora ora. Only he like doesn't quite enunciate it the way the Japanese would.
Oh, of course.
You know, you don't get that like real hearty and like rolling the RL sound together to be like ora 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 ora. There we go. We made a JoJo reference. Are you happy, Internet?
We all make JoJo references sometimes, but that's one of the things with sorry.
Okay, so I had to do this here. I accelerated too much on the rail, is what I did before.
Well,
anyways, so Spider-Man, MCU Spider-Man.
Well,
wait, that's right. Isn't MCU gonna like do like a multiverse thing because they ran out of one universe was too small. They ran out of universe.
this was probably inevitable. Look, at some point, MCU is trying to adapt everything from Marvel. Like they're also making a What If show, which I'm honestly, some of the episode ideas are so dumb. I'm like, no. What if Spider-Man became Hawkeye? What?
Okay, that is weird. And here I thought you were going to tell me they were adapting like classic comic storylines, like if. But I don't know Marvel that well, so I'm just going to say like, what if they chose to do like Superman Red Sun adaptation or something as like a what if? But no, they're not going to do classic comics.
My big problem is that I really wish Disney wasn't like, oh, it's the MCU. But no, like they're trying to give Jack Kirby like, oh, he was a great Disney innovator, but he was like fired from Disney, I think.
Oh yeah, that guy that you fired 40 years ago, you're going to try to act like you did well by him now? That sounds like corporate Disney.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of how they treat, like... I'm not a big fan of how... Oh, fuck.
What happened? happen now.
I'm not a big fan of how they treat Jack Kirby.
Also,
Like,
giant self-destruct button.
oh yes,
Why did I design my ships with giant self-destruct buttons?
because you have a fetish, Eggman, and it's time you confronted it.
I love it when Sonic destroys my stuff.
Arr, it makes me.
No, like he's got like some fear of like becoming too successful. So his whole thing is that like
So he's original comic
needs-
Thanos.
Yeah, like he needs Sonic to destroy his stuff so that he never loses his motivation.
Oh my god, that actually does make a lot of sense. But that's also like original comic Thanos. He's self-defeating.
God, okay, I hate this guy and his like shield that he puts up because he's, you know, going back to the whole like Game Grumps thing where Aaron talks about like how he hates waiting in combat in like Zelda.
Yeah.
This,
Yeah.
you know, this. You think Zelda's bad?
This is not the best exactly.
Just waiting.
Waiting.
Although granted, you know, he's not totally wrong about like, especially like Ocarina of Time kind of did that with like the stall post because of the way they would so consistently block your hits. Really funny. But it definitely got better over time. You know, when you consider that's like the first 3D Zelda, and they did so much with it. It's
Like,
you know,
honestly, the fact that like they still go back to it, like, and like there's a lot of people who still love it, I think shows how much like
There
it
we
was
go.
able to stick the land. Like, it's not perfect. No game is,
yeah, that was perfect.
but it does stick the landing.
But that is, you know, it's way better than anyone could have possibly imagined at the time.
Yeah.
Unlike this game.
This game, I feel like if it got a little bit more cooked, it could have been something special.
But God, it's like the cake I tried to make the other day. My cousin had a birthday the other day, and so I made her like a red velvet cake.
Oh.
And but like I misread the timing on the instructions, so I didn't put it in for long enough. So, well, okay, this thing's just getting team blasted. And so it wasn't like fully baked, so it's still kind of like doughy or batter, like the battery in the center. And so I had to like put it back in, but yeah, like that's like what this game is. It's like it looks like it's cooked on the outside, but once you get inside of it, you find the uncooked batter center. Oh my god, we activated that switch inside of the gun.
Yes.
Alright, is that... I'm surprised Team Blast didn't destroy the guns. I think the guns are, for some reason, listed as homing attack targets, but are also not counted as actual enemies, and therefore don't get affected by the Team Blast. I don't know.
That's so weird.
I was gonna say, like, my meager coding knowledge at least understands how tags work in a game engine. Oh great, I used the Team Blast before these guys.
It was a decision we made. At least he killed him.
It's not like Xenoblade Chronicles. We can't see the future.
We can only assume the future.
Yeah.
But you killed them, so hey, congratulations.
Eh? What are we doing? Why are we here? Just to suffer.
We are all here to suffer at some point.
Oh, we have to like throw ourselves onto this. Throw ourselves onto the mercy of the pole.
We have to believe in the pole. That's a very long pole.
Just keep going up and up.
Fly.
All right, where are we gonna? There's like a particular optimal place to jump off, and that wasn't it. Too soon. That's what that. Oh, hello. Yay!
You got the rings.
At least those make you feel good. One of the first game design classes I ever took in college, talked about how like games are just designed to like play off your like dopamine hits and stuff, and that's why like you know you're like your brain enjoys the stimulus when you collect a coin or a ring with a little like ding, and so it feels good and it encourages you to do more of it. So those rings are like the epitome of that. Whereas it's like they spin and light up and it's like yay.
Yay.
We got all the guys. What do we do? Oh, there's a switch right here.
Oh.
Why is the B button? I mean, we've already established the collision in this game is suspect.
It's suspect at best.
Where are we going? We're going here. This level's so combat heavy. Like, I want to like final levels. Like, a final level in a game should be like the most exhilarating, like, yeah, we're doing this kind of moment. But like, this is the most like, oh man, we have to deal with this.
I gotta actually look it up, but have you heard about the Half-Life remake and how they handle the Zen stuff?
I actually know very little about Half-Life, so enlighten me.
I know. Okay. So Zen is like an infamous, is like one of the most infamous like final levels of any game ever. It's considered like, oh, this game was like this tight corridor, and then it becomes like this platforming game near the end when it's like this.
Oh god, introducing new mechanics at the 11th hour is always a bad time.
Yeah, no. It's one of the best games ever, but at the Zen level, man.
There's a handful of games that have succeeded in introducing like late game mechanics that haven't fumbled in some way.
I remember.
Although it's a Metal Gear tradition.
It's true. You know, you always have to blow up the giant robot.
Well, no, you just always have to have like fisticuffs with someone at the end, and the gameplay will be totally different from how any of the fisticuffs fought in the entire rest of the game. Even Revengeance does that, but it actually does it really well because the whole game's based around fighting.
Leave it to me.
We excited the guinea pig. Hal's got a pet guinea pig who she's used to whenever like I sit near her cage that I'll like let her out and roam around because she's a very well-behaved rodent. But she saw me like shifting around and she like ran up to the door and was like, "You let me out?" And I'm like, "Sorry, babe."
Team blast.
Team blast.
I'm just saying you have it.
I am not about to let that critter out when we're doing this. She loves to nibble on power cables. Although the only power cable she actually ruined where it wouldn't work was the Wii U gamepad charging cable. Yeah. Of course, it would be like the most unique cable in the room. It would be the one that she actually broke. Couldn't have been any of the like USB Type-C cables, or no, USB mini cables, which are like the most common thing in the world right now.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that one.
You get a new one with like every device you buy.
Basically. My dad, I recently got very nice headphones for my dad.
What hit me?
Even with 4 laser cannons.
Oh, wow.
That's right, they do all of them. It is like, I shoot you, but I don't shoot you. I think this is the end.
Please let me...
Let it be the end. Yeah, it's like the last self-destruct button. Yeah!
We got it! Go!
Go for the gold.
Gold!
Oh, we did it.
We did it.
By extending the episode into this, we have been going for an hour.
Hey, we can always cut it up in editing if we wanted to.
Except we totally say things like, "Tune in next time, Space Cadets."
That's not transition, is it?